Welcome back everyone. So in this video we're going to create one of the last things we need for this cover, which is creating a puff. The idea is there's two terms you may hear. You hear puff and pug. A puff will generally be a shape within the page itself, and a pug will be like a dog's ear on the corner. You can do these, they're very similar in terms of technique, but today we're going to concentrate on creating a puff piece. So we're going to use our shapes tool. Now, when you come into Affinity for the first time, this will normally be default to a rectangle. If you click and hold, you've got all these different shapes to choose from. And again, it is tempting to go for all these other over-the-top shapes. I always think a circle looks classy. And again, when you do your research, you're going to notice that most are a circle. So the key to this is doing it oversized. Okay, so we're going to make it big. But the other problem is, when we choose this ellipse tool, it will just make ovals, and it's really hard to get a circle. The way to get a circle is really simple though. You just hold that shift key down and then pull it nice and big, and that creates a perfect circle. Okay, I'm going to leave mine there. You can change the color up here. Again, you may have a stroke on it, which is this polar mint style one here. If you do, just make sure, like I have here, that this is set to sort of not have any color on it. It's one of the easiest ways to tell an average and amateur design from a pro design is that there's black outlines around shapes. They should never be there. So I'm going to change my fill. Well, I'm going to leave my fill actually. I could change it to a different color if I wanted to, but I'm going to leave it this red. So I'm then going to make it even bigger, holding down that shift key, just so I've got plenty of space to work on. So the only other tool we need to use is our old favorite, the artistic text tool. And to do that, I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to draw. And I'm going to draw in, first of all, win exclamation mark. Okay, and that's going to be the initial piece to grab somebody. So I'm going to make that sort of there, put that to the top, and then I'm going to make a copy of that, and I'm going to change it. Rather than have that bold, I'm going to have it more in a medium, and I'm just going to change that to with this puff, because again, by writing down the name of everything, you get to understand what everything is, and it's a quick reference guide for when you're doing sort of your revision stuff. Remember, Q magazine will come up in your GCSE spec. So making one more copy of that text, and I'm going to put in a page number. And again, pick more random pages. Don't just go with like picking a page 5 or something like that. Put a bigger page into the into your design, because it kind of shows that there's lots of content in the magazine. If you just put like page 7 and page 5, again, it doesn't quite work the way it should. So we've got that now. I'm going to show you the next technique, which is really important. So the idea is we're going to get all of our things together and we're going to align them, and we're going to do it in a few stages. So the first one is to click on the circle, and then holding down the shift key with your arrow selected, click every other piece of text you want to align. And we've used this before now, so we're going to go back up to this alignment tool, click up here, and we're just going to align it horizontally. Okay, so that for the start, it aligns everything horizontally against the circle. Now again, you might want to, like I'm going to here, to move these things around. And now you can see it's kind of, I've moved this one out of alignment a little bit, and it's not really centered in the circle very well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to group our text together, and then we're going to align that again with the circle. So I'm going to click on the first piece of text, holding down shift. I'm going to click on the others, and I'm going to go one more time up here to align horizontally, and I'm going to center that. And then once I've done that, I'm going to group. Remember from when we've done this before, to group stuff, you make sure that it's all selected, and then you hit Control G. And now that just means that this becomes one item rather than sort of several items together. Okay, I'm going to put it down there, and again holding the shift key, making sure that both the text and the circle are selected. I'm now going to go back to this alignment tool. I'm going to align it horizontally centrally and vertically centrally. Okay, and what we now have is this puff here all lines up together. Okay, so one last group. We're going to highlight the text in the circle, Control G again groups them together, and we can then grab it by the corner and move this around. Okay, now if you decide, like I am here, actually I don't like all of this being yellow, once it's gone a bit smaller, you can double click and it will break down each group. So you can see by double clicking and then double clicking again, I can get this piece of text. I can change that to white, and I might change this one to white as well. Okay, just so the win stands out that little bit more. You may want to change the color of the win. So again, you just keep clicking until you get it. So you might want an orange. That doesn't work quite as well. Okay, so I'm just like experimenting again with this. I'm going to keep mine clean and simple today. To be fair, I'm just going to go with white. And again, even though you've clicked and you've changed things, you notice that this is, grab the wrong one, this is still grouped together as one item now. So again, if you want to make it a little bigger, grab it by a corner. Again, as always, never grab it by the middle and do this. That's just not going to happen. Okay, just don't do that. It just looks silly. Always grab by the corner, move things around like that. And again, depending on your photographs and how you've got those in, that then gives you your puff. And now you're pretty much there. There's just one more thing we're going to look at, which is adding a little banner, which is a small lesson, just to add shapes and again to make a banner on the bottom of the page. And then we're going to look at a few more advanced techniques, but that basically is your magazine cover completed. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again soon.